What's up, y'all? I'm Kristen.
And I'm Tyler.
And you're listening to
Hustle and Lace Podcast.
So,
we're back.
We are back.
What's been going on? What's up?
What's up, fresh as I turn, baby? I love
Gator.
that song. Like, come on. I thought you were going to jump
Do you
in
feel
with me.
extra nervous today?
No, not nervous. I think I was in my bag earlier, so like, I'm trying to shake it off and just be excited to be here.
Okay. Expand on that though. What do you mean you was in your bag? Because that means something totally different in my language.
Is in your bag to you? Does that mean like I'm grinding in money, or what does it mean to you?
It kind of mean like I'm being boastful. I'm bragging. I'm doing my thing. So yeah, it could mean I'm grinding. So that's what it meant for you. That's what you was doing earlier.
No, it meant I was in my feelings. Like I'm in my bag.
Yeah, that's definitely not what that means. Yes. In my bag, I'm in my bag right now. Like I'm getting it.
No, I'm in my bag. Like I'm in my feelings.
Okay.
Really?
Why were you in your feelings, Kristen?
All right, y'all. All right. Just comment somewhere and ask what does in your bag mean to you? Because I'm not the only one.
Most people are not going to say in their feelings is in my bag. Let's ask the room.
I don't know. Okay, in your bag.
Getting money.
Thank you.
Don't agree, man.
Thank you.
Get out of here. All right, so theirs is getting money. Excuse me. My bag was an emotional baggage.
I see what you did there. I like that.
That was being in my bag for me.
That makes sense.
I was like, so that's how I felt like it. But no, I'm excited to be here, recording our second one.
So your emotional baggage, that's nothing you want to talk about right now? We can wait. That's fine.
I'm okay with it. I think it was more so, I was really, really excited about coming here today and getting to do some cool stuff.
Yeah. And
then it also made me think of the stuff that I have to do that I'm committed to that I'm not so excited about.
Okay.
And figuring out how do I get more of that stuff off of my plate so that I can do more of the things that I'm genuinely excited about. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things to where the stuff that I'm not excited about pays the bills, So
it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like, well, what my struggle was with trying to figure that out. Like this, I prayed and prayed and prayed. Like, and what I tell y'all gonna hear about my kids and my kids and my kids.
my kids.
Like that's been like my main priority, trying to figure that out and trying to figure out. And that's the hardest part about, I think, anybody. Like if you want to try to live your dreams, if you really didn't get a chance to take full advantage of it, while you didn't have any other responsibilities or anything like that, it just gets harder when you add other stuff to it. So I mean, for you've been in your industry and in your field, but you kind of, let me see how I want to say this.
I'm still an intern in it. Like, I mean, I'm not, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's the reality of it. Like I'm just now being able to do some stuff and like actually get paid for it, but I can't
get paid for it, and
it's still not to where, of course, I can necessarily live off of it just yet. But like it's
so like for somebody that's wanting. Okay, so for the people that's out there, or like the younger listeners that may be listening to us, what's something like a piece of advice that you would give to kind of speed up that process, or do you think the process is needed, or do you?
When you say the process, like just.
I like, for me, I fully I trust the process.
Right.
I think you gotta grind it out. Like you gotta, in order for you to really be an expert of what you doing or what you're trying to do, you gotta literally do every single little small thing that you could think of within that industry. So do you think that's a process that needs to be done in your industry, like with what you're trying to do, event planning and things like that, or could a person be like have nepotism and be able to just be thrown out there and do it?
I definitely think you, at the end of the day, because whatever field you decide you want to work in, whatever field you decide you want to do, you need to know how to do all the parts.
Talk about it.
Because even though I'm not an expert at hanging paintings, like if I'm having an art show, I know how to hang them.
Yeah.
Because if somebody doesn't show up, I need to be able to do those things on my own. So I think you need to know how every part of what you want to do works.
Yeah.
I think it's a blessing if you can get in and somebody is willing to show you, and you're being, you know, paid something that you can live off of versus having to do a lot of free stuff.
Okay. You ain't got no hate in you. I'll be hating.
No, like, because, you know, because I think that's the problem with a lot of stuff. Like, we're like, oh, I got it out the mud, so you gonna get it out the mud too. No.
Ooh,
you know, there's no point in that. If I got it out the mud, you should at least be able to come in on the concrete. Like,
right.
Why am I holding that? And I think that's a problem with a lot of minorities.
Yeah.
You know, where I got it out the mud, you can get it out the mud too. Like, what's wrong with
crabs in a barrel
mentality?
Yeah,
definitely. So,
and what you expect crabs to do in a barrel?
Right,
so
you trying to crawl over somebody else. Like, when it's really enough money for everybody to eat if you do it right.
That's right. And like that was one of my main things of wanting to be an entrepreneur and do what we doing, because I feel like at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters, and a lot of stuff really don't be mattering out here, but the main thing that really matters is what you doing for that next generation. How are you really giving back? How are you really trying to, you know, help the next person? And so y'all in here, not only my kids, but I have a whole bunch of nieces and nephews. So we was literally talking before the pod, like, I got my niece, I'm literally going to interview her. I mean, she gonna get the job and all, but she's still gonna go through the same process as anybody else. We're gonna do an actual interview. I want to talk about your background history and all that. But this is an opportunity for her, for her to actually get into a business. And if she wants to do something that's entrepreneurial, she'll already have that mindset, and she'll know that it's possible because she sees her aunt doing it. It's literally, we grew up together. Like, I ain't gonna say grew up together, but let me see, she was born in what, 07, I believe.
So you just graduated high school.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say I raised her. I ain't gonna say we grew up together, but yeah, that's what it's about. So if I could do whatever, grind it out and be able to pass this stuff down, at least the knowledge, if anything, like, hopefully, you know, I could have a business that will be able to sustain itself. And if she wants to do that, she'll be able to do that. And it could go on to my kids or whatever. Or we have at least the access to money for her to be able to do whatever she wants to do. So if she wants to go to college, whatever she wants to do, we can make it happen. So that's what it's all about for me. But other than that, what's been going on? Your week?
My week, okay, it's only Tuesday. But so far the week's been good. This weekend I had an opportunity to go to Atlanta. I had to work an event.
Yes. That's what I really wanted to talk about.
I had to work an event. It was really dope. It was a Black History Month run for youth.
Wait, wrong one. Hold on, y'all. My bad. Which one I'm trying to do, Kristen?
I don't know.
You the one did the board last time.
Tyler.
We'll just go with that.
But no, I had an opportunity to go to Atlanta and work an event, and it was a Black History Month run for the youth. So it was really cool because it was about a 2-mile run, but the youth were able to stop at different historical sites and learn different facts about different civil rights historical sites out there. So that was pretty cool for them. I got to network and meet a good bit of people. So that was pretty fun. It's always fun when I get to shoot out there and do some stuff and meet some new people. So so that was that, and then coming back in, you know, getting to the grind this week, and here we are now. How was your week?
It was good, but I wanted to plug really quickly. You mentioned Black History Month. So we kind of trying to figure out this whole outline thing, y'all, but my Black Excellence of, I guess we'll say the month. Wrapping up Black
it's the last day.
Yeah, wrapping up
the month.
Black History Month. There is a doctor by the name of Dr. Hadiyah Green.
There we go. There's the
Dr. Hadiyah Green. She is the first Black woman to become the first doctor to cure cancer. This is only in mice, but that's a major step. So she was the first Black woman doctor to cure cancer using basically technology. It says nano particles, but basically using technology to cure cancer. So we gotta protect that Black woman, y'all.
Protect
for
her
real. We gotta, and I'm looking at her Instagram now. Her Instagram is at Dr. Hadiyah Green.
Spell it for him.
HIDIYAH Green, GREEN, no E at the end.
That's it.
That's her link tree there. But it seems like she does a lot. She does her little sneaker ball thing. She talks about all kind of stuff on here. So I just wanted to plug that in there. But as far as our outline goes, y'all, we're trying to figure out like a couple segments we want to sprinkle in there. So we thinking of something about black excellence. We don't know what we want to call it, but we want to do like a little black excellence segment, whether it's in business, fashion, whatever. Preferably business and fashion, of course, but I think it was worth bringing it up and,
definitely
spreading that word there.
Because a lot of people might not know it, so that's definitely so that we can kind of spread that love on our podcast. So.
And she also has a, I want to put this in there too real quick.
Put it in there, girl.
She has a foundation for cancer research. The foundation is called Ora Lee Smith Cancer Research Foundation. And it's like named after her aunt or great aunt or something like that. Y'all don't quote me on that, but yes. That was her aunt. So she put that foundation in memory of her aunt who passed away from cancer. And I know, like, have you had any family members had to experience cancer or pass, God forbid, but pass away from cancer or anything like that?
I have.
Yeah, so it's forever freak cancer. I want to say the other word, but I'm trying not to cuss, y'all.
There we go. Forget cancer.
There we go. So yeah, but my week has been
all right. So so you were telling us about how your week went.
Yeah, so I had a really good week. I had a really good productive week.
Yeah.
So basically, how I want to explain it. Okay, so I'm gonna start from the beginning for y'all.
Start from the beginning.
So literally, I got my own prayer. Forget Sierra. I got my own prayer. So I've been praying. Like, you know how it is when you in a job and you just feel like you ain't going nowhere. So, like, right now, y'all, my main check, I sell insurance or whatever. So, I'm not going to put the company out there. But before I was working for an insurance company, I was working full-time. Hated it. I mean, the money, even with the money being good, I hated it.
Yeah.
So, long story short, I'm like, how can I fix my schedule to where I can still make a little bit of money, still be able to, because, I mean, small business is just you. So you got to figure out how you're going to do everything. So how am I going to be able to give my other baby attention that it needs to, to really start growing? How am I going to give my kids attention that they need? Because I have small children. So
small children. I heard it.
Okay, Grandma. So how you give them the attention that they need and also be able to take care of your household, take care of you as a person and all this other kind of stuff. So I was like, Lord, what do I need to do? Help me figure it out. So basically, long story short, I ended up, one of my dad's childhood friends is an insurance agent. So I started working for him. I only work part-time, only 3 days a week. And I literally make the same salary. The salary part is literally the same.
Wow.
The commission is so much better. So it's like I'm literally working, my time is split in half, but I'm still making almost the same amount of money.
Wow.
So that was a blessing. And then so I'm able to basically have my schedule to where I work in the beginning of the week and I'm able to work on my business at the end of the week. And my schedule is so flexible. I get to pick my kids up from school, because that was another thing. Like, how am I going to get these kids home? So figure that out. Figured my business out. Figuring out the whole beast of content. Still trying to figure that out. But I mostly got a handle on it. At least got a schedule for it. So I got all that figured out, y'all. So now it's I'm in a spot to where I'm really able to take advantage of more opportunities that is out there for me to get my name out there. So I signed up for my first pop-up shop.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah. So I'm very excited about that. Like I told y'all last time, I've been in business for a little over a year now. It's like a year and 3 months, something like that. So I want to, keep progressing, keep increasing, keep getting my brand out there. So the pop-up is going to be not our pop-up, but this pop-up.
The other people's pop-up.
Right, the other people, the other folks. This pop-up is going to be in Atlanta on March 25th at, Ponce City Market. Yeah, Ponce City Market, right? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yes, Ponce City Market. That's going to be from 12 to 5. So I will give y'all more details so y'all could either, pull up on me. This will be your chance to be able to try stuff on, because I know that's the hardest thing about shoes. You're unable to try them on when you order it online. So, and I get so many messages like, is it true to size? How does it fit around your thighs? Is it
wide calf friendly?
Is it wide calf friendly? Like, I get everything. So this will be a great opportunity for y'all to pull up on me, shop till you drop, and try stuff on. And I'm gonna have some stuff there to where it's gonna be a whole experience too. Hopefully, I gotta figure all that out with the people who's hosting it. So I'm very excited about that. So I got that signed up for. So now I just gotta figure out a whole bunch of other stuff to really execute it how I really want it to, because I'm finding out like I'm a perfectionist. If stuff doesn't look a certain way, if it doesn't come out a certain way, I'll be mad. And I think you kind of helped me with this too. Like, girl, just go put it up there and be done with it. Like, I'm like, no, we need to add this and add that. Like, we already experiencing that with this, whole business venture that we're doing.
Which we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yes. But so I'm trying to get over that.
Why do you think you're a perfectionist?
Because I have a vision for my brand. I want it to look a certain way. Because I feel like in today's society, everybody is okay with just being average. And everybody is trying to do something. Everybody's trying to start a business, and there's nowhere near nothing wrong with that. That is awesome. Like, I encourage everybody to do something entrepreneurial based. But what's really going to put you to the top of that? Like, what's really going to make you stand out? And I know for one, like right now, even though there could be other smaller boutiques that we have the same styles or whatever the case may be, but my customer service, like literally, I got so many reviews on just based on my customer service. Like, so I know that's one thing that's already going to put me over the top. I want that Publix Chick-fil-A type customer service. You feel me?
My pleasure.
My pleasure, honey. And they trained us to say that when I was working for AT&T. So I say that all the time, like unknowingly that I'm doing it. But so, so not only my customer service, but I want it to be a whole shopping experience. I want you to be able to, buy quality things, even though it's at, because I want, basically my brand, I want it to be, everybody can't afford to be a sneakerhead. Everybody can't afford luxury items. So if I can offer a dupe that's looks just as good, and the quality is still, still okay, but you getting it for a lot cheaper, and this is for those girls in that income bracket, I still wanted for you to have a whole shopping experience. That shouldn't be taken away just because you're at a lower, price point or whatever. So that's my whole thing. So yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like you were real productive.
I'm getting it, girl. I'm in my bag.
I was saying you were in your bag. You were in the other bag. Okay. Not.
Now you gonna say the real one. I'm sorry,
your hands are cold. Why are your hands so cold? Are they always cold?
That means I'm warm-hearted.
That was it. That's what this guy used to go to school with. I'd be like, "Why are your hands so cold?" He's like, "Because I have a warm heart."
If that person hands sweaty,
maybe they're just nervous.
Nah, why you nervous?
Life
do be life.
Right. Maybe that's why
do be life.
Why their hands are sweaty.
Yeah, girl.
Shout out all the sweaty hand folks. It's all right.
You shouting out the sweaty hand folks.
That's cool. I want them to know we want them to live.
Y'all may need to put some baby powder in your hands and do the Michael Jordan clap before y'all go anywhere. Yes, really. Because that is not cute.
Hands to be sticky.
It's not gonna make it. It's gonna make it soft and.
All right.
A man with some soft hands. Well, no, never mind.
We went left real fast. Let's bring it back.
My bad.
Bring it back. Man with some soft hands. Let's bring it on back.
But aside that, y'all, we gotta tell y'all about the real pop-up.
Oh, yeah. That's ours.
Yes, our pop-up.
Our pop-up. So it's April 29th at Carolina Bowen House Brewery. Brewery gets me. You got to say it slow. Brewery. That word gets me all the time. Brewery. See,
you say Bowen House just like that and can't say brewery.
Brewery gets me.
Okay, friend.
But here in Greenville, it's right off of downtown Greenville. Where's that?
Yeah, that Greenville.
That Greenville.
That one.
So we're excited to be able to use that hashtag and see some dope stuff coming up with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's coming up, and we are still accepting vendors for that. We've got a good bit locked in right now.
We do. It's looking pretty good.
It's a nice little lineup on it. Like I'm excited for y'all to come out and see.
It's our first event. I'm super excited about it. We're gonna have would you call it commentary or?
I think that you can use that word.
Yeah.
So we're partnering with Jet of.
Let's Talk Fashion with Jet.
Let's Talk Fashion with Jet. So she's going to be there. She's going to be getting all the scoop on everybody's fits for the day, encouraging y'all to take some photos at our photo activation. We're so excited for y'all to see that get built out. So just kind of encouraging y'all to go. What were you going to say?
I can't wait to tell y'all the details. Like, we have so many cool ideas. I don't want to share them yet until we get closer to it.
We've been working. Like, it's something that we're really excited to bring to the area.
Yeah.
And really just want people to be able to come out and have fun.
Right. It's going to be super, super, super dope.
Yes.
So the pop-up, did we say it? We're going to say it again.
Say it again.
It's a curated market for fashion, art, and all things creative. So the whole market itself is going to be like a creative experience.
Yes.
So, yeah. It's
Y'all
going to be a great
day.
Dope. Yeah. It's over a covered patio. So we're going to be out. We out chill.
We out there. Rain or shine, we there.
Yes.
Regardless. Period, poo. Do they still say the poo part?
I do.
Just period.
I be saying it.
I don't know when I've had a chance to use it.
But you know, I still be saying all kind of stuff. Stuff.
Y'all should hear how she answers the phone when I call her sometimes.
It changes every time.
Like, who did I call?
Like sometimes I put on my accents. Hello.
Please don't do it. Hello, mate. It's so bad.
I'm a London ting.
No, that was bad. Okay. That had a little bit of Caribbean in it.
Oh, okay. I'll stop.
It's okay.
I give it up.
I say,
Let me not quit my day job.
No, but it's always funny, like, to watch shows and like hear them have like a Southern accent. I'm like, I don't know anybody who sounds like that.
Like when they try to fake, like
it's real long draw, like, hi, kind sir. Like, who talks that way?
Remember on the Golden Girls and
Blanche? Oh, Big Daddy.
No, the one that gets me now is the people in Chuckalisa.
Oh, P-Valley.
Yes, I don't know why I couldn't think of the name of that show. It's so bad, y'all. The show itself, not the shoe. The show itself is good, but the accents.
Like, who sounds like this? I don't know. I don't have any friends who talk that way.
It's annoying.
It's bad. But we do love the show, and they won a bunch of NAACP awards.
Woo-hoo!
So shout them out. Okay, so here's the question that is on nobody's mind, but we're gonna answer anyway. How did we get here?
Here is in the podcast, right?
Here is in the pod. Here is in life. Whichever one. Pick one.
Let's do life.
All right.
Let's do life first.
So, wow. Let's not make this long.
How did you get here in life to this position? Give us a timeline.
Graduated high school, went to North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University.
Aggie Pride.
Met this one and some other cool people along the way. Majored in PR, and I didn't have a job when I finished school. For those that are wondering, yes, I did do an internship while I was there. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, where I interned was kind of like it was a big place, but it was a small department. So there wasn't anything open for me when I left. And Greensboro is, if you've never been to Greensboro's not Charlotte, it's not Atlanta. It's a nice sized city, but it's still got a real homey feel.
It's a really big college city.
There we go. Yeah, there's like 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. I was gonna say 4. It's about about 5. Yeah,
5 or 6 colleges that are actually there. So it's not a city. And I majored in public relations, and so the options for that were not something I wanted to do. I probably could have went in PR in the medical field or something like that, but definitely wasn't anything I wanted to do.
You didn't want to do that?
No. So I ended up coming back home and trying to find a job. I remember going back and forth. Like for those that don't know, we're about 2 hours from Atlanta.
Yeah.
So it's nothing to hop in the car. So I remember applying for, I don't know how many jobs, going back and forth to Atlanta, looking for jobs, trying to get anything. I finally got something in 2013.
Slow down now. How did you feel at that time? Like,
so at that time, when I came back home from college, I ended up working at Verizon. I realized at Verizon I wasn't going to be able to kind of get into marketing from there. So my family, we have a mortuary. And
you ain't answer my question. You went all around it.
What you asked how to get there?
No, I asked you how did you feel
well, I was about to tell you.
Oh, okay,
so,
I'm
sorry. You know I'm long with it. Sorry, guys.
No, I feel like you were speeding. But go ahead.
Anyway, so I was working at my family's mortuary, and so when I got the job in Atlanta, I felt like, okay, I finally made it. Like, you know, this isn't necessarily, it definitely wasn't the salary that I wanted.
Okay.
But I was like, you know what? I finally got it. We're going to figure out, God finally opened the door. We're going to kick it in. We're going to figure out how to make this work. And I kid you not, from the time that I signed my paperwork to the time that I ended up coming back home, like, it was struggle with a capital S.
Okay, so I want to backtrack a little bit.
Probably, sorry.
So in the midst of you doing
Should we pause? No. Can we start? Okay.
In the midst of you looking for a job while you're in South Carolina, did you ever lose hope? Did you ever think it wasn't going to happen? You still didn't answer my question.
Yes, lose hope definitely, because I'm definitely a person of faith. You know, my prayer life is something that's very big to me. My faith is something that's a really important part of me, and so I'm having faith that, you know, God is going to do these things, and it is not happening. I have people even in church talking to me, and they're like, well, you know, maybe that's not God's plan for your life. I'm not trying to hear that.
Wow.
Like, you know, well, maybe that's not it. And you know, and maybe he wants you to do something else. Maybe that's a lot of things, but that's, you know, no, that's not it. This is what I'm believing for.
Did you ever, during that time, did you get in, because I feel like, you know, I'm into numbers. I feel like that's him talking to me. Do you ever feel like you get those type of messages to where it told you to keep going? Was there any point in time where you got like a clear message from God saying, this is it, keep going?
I feel like,
or was that getting the job in Atlanta? Was that the message?
That was scary too, because in my head, because I'm such a overthinker sometimes.
Yes, you are.
It's one of those that could be, all right, this is God being like, all right, here, you asked for it, go. Or, you know, yes, this is it. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, it could go either way.
Okay.
So that, you know, so that's the hard part, because yes, I had it, and, you know, I was able to find somewhere to stay, but a lot of everything was challenging. Like, nothing was easy.
No. Life is not easy.
It was finally finding the job, but okay, now where am I going to stay?
Yeah.
Finding somewhere, like, you need first month, last month's rent.
Ooh.
You need, you know, is your credit where it needs to be to have the place you want to stay?
Yeah.
Can you afford this? You know, you got to make 3 times the rent to do what you're doing right there. So that stuff, you know, that was hard.
Okay.
Yeah,
I get that. So PR is something that you've always wanted to do.
I think that was what I figured out I could major in. I knew I liked events.
Gotcha.
But I didn't really know, you know, I didn't know I can go to school and I can major in events, you know. So I knew what PR was, and I knew there were events that were involved in PR.
Gotcha.
So I thought that would be a good, you know.
Good avenue. So people that are listening, if you don't know, PR is public relations.
Right.
Give us kind of like, can you give us like what does that entail? Like, what is all the things, all the different types of careers could you go into by getting that major?
With PR, a lot of it's definitely a lot of writing with a lot of stuff, but it's essentially kind of managing a brand, a person, or a company's their image and their public perception.
Gotcha.
So making sure that they look good in the press, making sure, you know, whether that's they have a new product coming out, they have a new event they're launching, they're doing something else. It's just making sure you kind of manage their image in the media. And then from that, you know, it'll branch off to a marketing team who may do something completely different.
Yeah.
You may do events. Then you have social media that ropes into that. So, like we talked about earlier, kind of being able to know a little bit about everything that's going on.
So essentially, because I always get all this, everything in that category, I kind of get confused and mixed up, especially when I was going through business school. So like with PR and advertising and marketing, does that can that all fall under one umbrella? Because it seems like you just got to be an expert communicator, which that's really what you are.
That is definitely a big part. And I think all of them have things that overlap, but some of them don't. Like when you think of advertising is press, but you're paying for it. PR is kind of their job to make sure you get the press based on it being a good thing for the news outlet to pick it up. So you're not trying to pay for it. For that kind of press. And then marketing is really promoting it to whatever target audience you
that's a good way to put it. Okay.
So that, but still all three of them kind of overlap with, you know, the same, a lot of the same skills.
Okay, cool. So what y'all going to realize, Kristen has, I'm going to brag on my girl real quick. When I tell she got the gift of gab going, y'all. When I tell she be talking in cursive, I'm like, oh, you did that. You are just a great communicator. Like things that I have a hard time explaining, you just like that. Explain it just like that. In the simplest form. And to me, like the best way to communicate is when you keep it simple. But you know, you jazz it up, you know, got those keywords or whatever.
Yes.
So yeah, that's all good stuff. So okay, where did we? I'm sorry, we went down a whole another rabbit hole, but I think that was good to touch base on, so the the listeners can
Yeah. So I mean, long story short, I mean, you know, and I'm sure there's times on the podcast where we can kind of really get into, you know, in depth of a lot of stuff. But long story short, I ended up going to Atlanta. I stayed there about 1.5 years. I really loved the job that I was doing. I was getting to do a lot of community outreach. I was getting to meet a lot of different people. But it wasn't the best environment for me. It was also really hard.
It always be the environment.
Like it wasn't the best environment for me. It was also really hard being alone out there.
Yeah.
You know, that was kind of thing. You know, I'm close enough to, you know, y'all would come visit or stuff like that. But when you left, I'm still by myself, and it was just a lot of different factors. But I ended up leaving the job, and it was hard to try and find something else. And so I ended up coming home back to South Carolina the end of 2019. And which, you know, God works in mysterious ways, because then 2020 came and here was COVID. Yeah. And so I was very thankful not to be out there by myself, locked up during COVID. Right.
How was COVID for you during that time?
Listen, you know, I ended up with like a little routine, like at home. I was like, we going to the grocery store on Friday. This unemployment that came in. Let's do X, Y, and Z. Like, I was working, by that time I was working in retail out here, so I was Gucci. I was like,
girl, you was lucky. I still had to go to work. We all in there complaining.
But yeah, so that's how ended up back there, ended up back home, and, you know, through, I feel like it's a lot like this. If we continue on this one, like, I definitely think we won't make the rest of our topics that we want to.
So we'll fast forward through mine then. Perfect.
No, you gotta talk about being a city girl. Like this one, I was in Atlanta. Like Tyler left and went to New York, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
New York?
I'm a zoom through the first part. So, like any kid from South Carolina, my parents was pushing me into healthcare, and I listened like a dummy. So I went into nursing, quickly found out once we started going, you know, doing our clinicals, them old people in there calling me nigga and stuff. I was like, oh, that's it for me. Uh-oh. So ended up changing my major. Ended up in psychology, graduated with you, but a psychology major. Then I just had a realization, like, life is too short. Like, I'm about to go for mine. I'm about to get in my bag. So I was like, I'm going to go to New York. And the reason why I chose New York, because I feel like, because you can kind of do fashion. You could do fashion down here. But I really wanted the whole experience of The Devil Wears Prada, but minus the devil. But I came in contact with the devil. But I really wanted that whole life. And ended up doing Sex in the City life instead. But that's neither here nor there. But so I ended up moving to New York. Literally, I was thinking about this the other day. I maybe had like $1,200 to my name that I saved up for just to go to New York. I remember when I first moved there, I kind of did. They have like dorms that's off campus. So I'm living in a dorm that I'm 24 years old. So I'm was I 24 or 23? Either way.
But wait, yeah. So I said you just told me you moved to New York. You didn't tell me you applied to school.
What? Oh no, talking about the fashion school, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the school that I ended up going to was the Fashion Institute of Technology. Got accepted. I did a fashion business degree, which at that time it was fashion merchandising, but now they just call it fashion business. So got accepted. I'm a non-traditional student at this point. I'm like 23, maybe something like that. So I'm living with 17-year-olds. But my off-campus dorm was literally on 34th Street. It was like, or no, 31st Street. 31st Street. So I'm right in Chelsea. I'm near everything, which was great. I just remember I moved there with $1,200, no job, no aspects of a job, nothing. Just did it. I can remember summertime, like I literally had to ask my mom, like, listen, I can't move out into the Brooklyns, the Bronx then, so I stay. I remember we literally paid $10,000 for me to stay somewhere for 3 months. But yeah, so at this time I'm a non-traditional student. I'm in New York. I'm doing everything that you could literally think of. Every volunteer thing, every fashion show, I did it. I was up there with Diddy daughter thinking I'm doing something. We on rooftops. I'm seeing everybody. Like I'm doing it. I'm doing the thing.
So like seeing stuff like that, did you have a moment where you're like, you know what, this is it? Like I've made it, or or this is where like you could actually visualize like what you wanna.
I had no friends up there. I have an uncle, but up there, but that's neither near up there, but. I literally felt like I made it and had no money and was living my best life. Like y'all, it was so freaking exciting. I just love that for me. But
I just love that for me. I'm good.
But it was so good. And it doesn't take me long to find friends because
you're a friendly person.
Yeah, I'm a very friendly person. Once you start going up to people and asking questions and about their clothes and stuff, they're gonna be your friend. So I ended up finding like a whole girl group within like the first month or so, or 2 months. So that was awesome. Shout out to y'all because I still love y'all. We still cool to this day. So let me see. So I'm literally volunteering for everything, New York Fashion Week, everything you could think of. My first internship was, I was supposed to be an assistant wardrobe stylist for a magazine. Literally first week, the wardrobe stylist ended up quitting. I'm not going to say the magazine, but the actual wardrobe stylist ended up quitting. So I literally had to figure everything out on my own from there, like reaching out to PR, like how am I going to get clothes? How are we going to work with these people? Can we get these people to collab with the magazine and do photo shoots and they sending their PR to us. I'm trying to get clothes and reaching out to PR to other departments. I'm having to find photographers, makeup artists. I have to get me an assistant. I have to pick the clothes up, get the clothes to the set. Like literally, if I was a wardrobe stylist, y'all. I'm at your girl, still am. But learning all the tips and tricks and stuff like that. And this was kind of like a higher end type of magazine, so it really wasn't my go-to. Like it wasn't fun. So I'm styling, uppity white women. So long story short, but either way, I got, made good relationships. I got good reports. I mean, what you want to call her? The owner of the magazine, she would literally be contacting me, calling me at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So it's like set life and wardrobe stylist life is very hard. It's very stressful. After that whole experience, it kind of turned me off from it because it wasn't fun for one. It was. I'm not going to say that. It wasn't all the way fun. Certain parts of it was fun. but just who I'm having to style and their sense of taste just wasn't my go-to. Like, it wasn't something that could really be creative. Like, I didn't feel like I was doing the daggone thing, but I know that I'm good at it. So, you know, taking the classes for it, still trying to, you know, perfect that whole thing there. I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say? Oh, so after the internship, I ended up getting another intern. All these are free, of course. At this time, I ended up getting a paid internship, but at this time, there was no paid internship, especially if you didn't have any. Look for a job, or can I stay here and really thug it out? So, by the graces of God, I ended up getting a paid internship with Macy's, and that's a whole. I'll go through my experience with that. It was a great experience, so I could talk about that. We'll talk about that another day. But I ended up getting a paid internship with Macy's and later getting a job, so that worked out great. How did I get back here? So I ended up getting pregnant 2 years in. That's with my son Zuri. Y'all get to know him. And I was really having a hard. Me and his dad does not have. Now I'm okay. Like, it's whatever. But then we did not have a good relationship at all. We had a very, very, very toxic relationship. Like, he tried to kidnap my son out of a New York hospital.
Wow.
A Harlem. I wish I could tell y'all the name of that hospital, because it's a very popular hospital. It's in Harlem. Either way, famous people be having their babies there. But anyway, so he literally tried that. So that could kind of show y'all what kind of experience that I'm having at this point with this Negro. So I'm trying to face the fact, like, can I really do what I need to do and stay here? Or do I go to a place where I'm safe? I don't really have to worry about anything. I know I'll be able to make much more money, because you don't make a lot of money in fashion, and like, especially you're in New York, the cost of living is so much higher. Yeah. So I'm like, do I use the advantage that I went to school in New York? I got experience up here. I'm able to negotiate a higher salary if I move down south. So all the pros are adding up at this point. Like, it's time to hang it up. So so I ended up making the hard decision of coming back home, which I don't regret. At the time I did, though. But now I come to the fact that I don't regret it. It was the best decision, because I want my kids to be around all of my nieces and nephews and their grandparents. And we do all the lovely family events and stuff. So now I kind of had to pivot, because it was really hard finding a job in fashion and living back home. Like, I would have to move to a Charlotte or Atlanta in order for, and I actually got a proposal for a company in Charlotte, but I ended up not taking it. So then I pivoted into finance, which kind of.
Hey man, can you come fix my phone? It's just saying low battery, but I just need you to close it.
There you go. So then I ended up pivoting into finance, and I fell in love with finance. So finance is literally banking, credit, insurance. So I'm learning all the stuff that really freaking matters.
Yeah, the other side of the business.
Yes, the real stuff for life. So yeah, I'm still in it. I still love insurance. I love my job. I work in sales. That's why I really, 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 really like. New York really got my confidence up, but this here, working in sales, really, really got my confidence up. So now I feel like I could talk to anybody. I could go anywhere. I could pitch my business. I could pitch us, whatever the case may be. Throw me in there. We coming out with a win. So
put me in, coach.
Yeah, so just learning that working in finance really helped me learn people too, because I think that's one thing that we have to realize. Like, you gotta be a people person for the most part. Like, you gotta be able to talk to people. You gotta be able to relate. You gotta be able to convey your brand to them and figure out how to make them understand that, and also to get them to buy into it. Like, you the things that we going through with the pop-up or whatever. So you got to really, sell yourself. You got to get them to believe in you and your idea. So that's where I'm at now, girl. That's how we here.
That's how we.
Okay, so for the podcast, like, how did we even really get to the podcast part? We got through the life part.
So I think I was in a space where I was trying to just figure out what's something that I could do, that I could have that was physical and tangible. Because a lot of times my ideas, they're just ideas until, I'm able to put them into fruition, until I'm able to make this event happen or whatnot. So the podcast was something I thought about. I'm like, okay, this would be something, that would be cool. And at the time I hadn't kind of figured out everything. I think I figured out the name before I figured out everything. And then, I think it wasn't random, but like, I don't think we've never not been close, but there have definitely been times where we were both kind of just caught up in what was going on in life, and we didn't check in as much, as we typically used to. And so, but I don't know, did something happen? I don't know. We just started back talking like a whole lot. And so we came up with,
But I know, I remember one day I asked you did I ask you what a podcast was? I don't remember, but I asked you how do I listen to a podcast on my phone? I didn't even know the podcast app was on the phone.
And now she listens like way more.
I'm an avid. I love podcasts.
She listens to those all the time.
Yes.
So it kind of worked out. Like I said, I have the name. We were working on other stuff, and I was like, okay, do you want to do the podcast with me? Because we have a lot of the same similar story. Like we both grew up in these small southern towns.
Yeah, because I told you should do a podcast. Yeah. And then that's when what happened? Because we kind of thought of a name. You asked me, did I want to do it with
did.
you?
It was like Bells in the Basement.
Yes, that's what I wanted you to talk about. I'm trying to get you to it, girl.
I forgot. I be coming up with some names, y'all.
But we was trying to like find a play on words like Southern Bells, and we just having girl talk or whatever. But glad we didn't do that one.
No. But so we sent it up.
How long ago was that?
That's maybe the middle of last year.
I'll say before that.
Maybe this time last year. I think so.
Yeah.
But everything, like I said, everything kind of happens at the right time. But I felt like we both grew up in a lot of similar circumstances. We both had these big dreams and wanted to kind of do certain things. Had a lot of the same experiences, and we view a lot of stuff the same. But then we also have very different personalities when it comes to different stuff. So I think it'll make for a good conversation, and we always have good conversation. Like one thing about us, we gonna talk. Yeah, girl, we be having some really good conversations. Like out of all our whole friend group, we always been we begin to the nitty gritty. We be having them deep conversations. We have the deep ones. It's not often that we get together and somebody didn't cry. Ooh, child, don't let us get a beer tower. Oh, we used to do that in college. We go get a beer tower, child, and have a therapy session. But yeah, so that's kind of how we got here. So I think I'm excited for them to come along with the ride to see how we do. Are you nervous about going into business with me as a friend? No, I'm actually not. I'm really not. I feel like I wouldn't want to do this with nobody else. Like nobody else, because I feel like you said, we do have different personality types, but I think that's good for business because we could try it your way, we could try it my way, and that's the thing with business. You got to try different things and see what works. Yeah. Like, so if you're able to collaborate with somebody who's as level-headed as you are, who's been in the business, who knows a lot of people, knows a lot of things, and not afraid to talk to people either, and we on the we on the same page, girl. So yeah, I'm not nervous about that at all. I think that's my thing too. And one thing that we said when we started this was, if business comes between our friendship, we'll cut the business. Yeah. I can make money any other way. I've worked crappy jobs. Like we'll figure that out. Like this chick is somebody that I love, and I feel like I don't. Ooh, yes, girl. God, I said I'm not gonna cry. I don't know. Cry. Somewhere it just started welling up. Put a tissue. I'm okay. No, but I think I don't have like a whole lot of friends, but I don't have a lot of new friends. And when I say that, like, I think my newest friend is still probably like 5 or 6 years old. So you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm thankful for the women that I have in my corner.
Right.
And they're all like they're good people. So I'll cut the business before I lose my friend. So.
And that's the thing about you. You're a very great judge of character. Like you know how to pick some people. I be trying to get niggas the benefit of the doubt and shit.
No, something ain't right with that one.
Right. So you're a very great judge of character. I feel like you don't have like a big ego. Like whatever we need to do, let's just get it done.
Yeah.
You're a hard worker. I know you're gonna show up. We may both be a little late, which we need to work on.
That. We're working on that.
Yes, we gotta work on that. We gotta get the stuff on time. You hear that
marketing manager? We're working on that. She's over there late too. We're all working on it.
So we're working on that part, but overall, I think it's gonna be a fun ride. Yes. I have no worries. How do you feel about what people gonna say about us going into a podcast though?
I mean, I think the haters are gonna hate some.
Haters gonna hate.
And I think that'll be different for me because growing up where I'm from, like, you know everybody growing up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, wait, you don't like me? Like, you know, and trust me, I'm not perfect like that.
I'm the opposite.
I'm nice
People
to
never
everybody.
like me at first.
Like, I'm real nice. You don't like me? So that's always weird for me. Like, but no, I think some people are going to listen, some people aren't. But I also think it's important to realize just because we know the people doesn't make them our audience.
Right. That part.
So, you know, we grab in the people who we're supposed to. Just like this event we're hosting. Just because you sell something doesn't mean that you're our demographic.
Right. That part.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So you looked at the time like we've been talking a minute.
Talking, girl.
And there's still like the other recording was like 10 minutes long. So
okay, yeah.
We end up chopping.
We're gonna finish this. We're gonna keep going, or
we'll finish it up later.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
All right, so we'll sign off. So I'm Kristen,
and I'm Tyler,
and you've been listening to Hustle and Lace podcast.
We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye. Child's like, what time? Because I could have kept going.
You want to keep recording or?
No, you can stop it.